You can see this last ray of light coming through here. By tomorrow morning, I hope that's the last ray of light that'll ever come through there. I should be done putting the sheathing on this half of the cabin. And then I will check and make sure it's nailed in every spot it's supposed to be. And then I will tar paper this half. And then I don't have to have tarps anymore. I've had tarps for 6 years. So, looking forward to it. Alright, yesterday, thought I was done with the last piece, covering the wall and the eave. When I got all done, it was about 8 o'clock, a little after 8 last night, and I noticed there was a little bit of a dip, and that was being caused by one of the logs that go out to form the eave. It had a little hump in it. Something I didn't notice before. So this morning I took that all off, went up there, ground it in a straight line, going out into the air, cut off the ends, tarred it. I'm going to put it up again, hopefully for the last time. All right, when I come back tomorrow, I'm going to put that board on, and that will finish the east side of the roof with the wood on it. I'm actually going to get out of here right now. I've left this little hatch open as I figured out it's easier for me to get up and out. Oh, sorry. Easier for me to get up and out of this little hole and onto the roof. And these are my loops, my climbing loops. They're working pretty good, but the weather has turned extremely gray. Usually it was sunny all day, and they're calling for a big storm coming in. So I'm gonna head out. It's 6 o'clock. That's enough for today. I got some other things to stop and look at on the other side of the island too. All right, that's it. This is what the roof looks like when it's not sheathed. That's the little hole that I pop in and out of. All of this is covered now in the 3/4 inch plywood. I cut the ends off of those today, making them each 23 inches, so it'll be hidden by 1 inch underneath the boards. This is our view. It's even a better view standing on the roof. And these are my lifelines. I go from one to the other. I skip this board because it's slick. It's like little mountain climbing ropes. And that's the view. I gotta get out of here because the storm's coming in. And for once I'm gonna leave before the storm hits. I think you can hear the rain. Once again, I actually didn't leave in time. Big surprise. But I got off the roof. The last thing you want to do is be up on the roof. A roof that's that steep in the rain. So I got off just as I was talking about it, and that was wonderful. So I'm just kind of having fun being inside during the rain, and while it isn't completely finished yet by any means, it's keeping it pretty dry. This is a little different view this morning. These 8-foot pieces, of which there is a stack of 8. So just when you think they're all done, they're not. and we had to get here. Early, get all the water off of everything. I'm going to sand these and coat them 4 times, probably twice today and twice tomorrow, and then do that wall, get that done. Let the roof dry off, and then I can finish the little hatch and the last piece in front, so that half will be done. And then I've decided I'm going to move all these other panels physically outside and try to bring them up from the outside instead of from the inside. It might be easier. It's still a theory. Hopefully it'll work. And I've got some solar panels, a tiny solar panel charging up outside that might give me some light in here once I get the roof on. I'm a happy guy. This is the last of the 36 boards. That has to be stained. And it's a big day in the neighborhood. I'll have to let this dry. I sand them before I start. I'll let it dry, and then I'll have to do this either 2 more times or 3 more times, depends on how much it soaks up the sealer. But by doing it, it'll be a lot easier doing this now before it's up than trying to do it after it's up with those logs in the way. So it's got to be done, and I'm really glad it's almost finished. That part at least. This is a side of the cabin you haven't seen in 4 or 5 years. This is where all the lumber was stacked. I'm happy to say that the floor is still here. There's no mushrooms growing. The log's perfect. I had a little drainage crack behind it, and they were covered. So now I'm going to take all the things I've sealed in the last couple days, plus the pile over there, and remove the tarp and stack some of the stuff on that wall, and now I'll be able to start setting up my scaffolding here. I think I've got a better technique, and what I've been doing is actually I'm kind of tying the ladder. I'm putting a screw in 2 places that hits the ladder, and then tying the ladder to the wall, so then I can kick off when I'm lifting these things up. Okay, the whole east side of the roof is done, and I left this little square open in case I need a little in and out hatch for any reason. It's all ready to go, and I'm just going to leave that, and it lets light in. Just came up through the hatch that I left open. These are my loops. Shows a little bit better. Spaced them out, so there's 3 of them. So my arms are long enough that I can go between these and go from loop to loop. And then I made an additional little safety device that I can clip on, and that goes to my homemade safety harness line, and that should keep me from falling off the roof. I started making these instantly when I got up on the roof. It must be a thing I learned when I was a kid doing tree work. It's like a rope ladder, actually. Are on top of each other. So I took the bolts I used to use to move the logs. They're fairly big, and I placed them as spacers. Again, island mentality, island upbringing. You have to utilize everything you have, and it pays. So these won't touch each other. The air can move from the bottom. They're off the ground 2 inches. and there's a gap behind it on the floor. I'm happy that I just put the last two pieces on that side of the roof. Now I've got to switch out the safety lines. So I can't touch the safety lines. I've got to pull them, disconnect them from one side, flip them over so I can use them on the other side. And of course, the day that's supposed to be beautiful, there's a storm coming in. The temperature just dropped. So I want to get this done and get off the roof. Made some good headway the other day, or yesterday. They were calling for absolutely no rain in the forecast. I think they were a little off. All right, I'm going to remove that tarp anyway, and keep working on this wall. That'll help dry things out a little. No rain in the forecast. All right, I'm taking a shot of this while I still have enough light to do it. I keep forgetting. So basically, she's almost completely under the roof, and when I seal up that last section, we won't be able to use the camera like this. I don't have lighting for the camera. So she's getting there. I'll figure out the lighting, and that's it. We'll be closing up the hobbit hole and picking up the shingles, and then I've just got to figure out how to get the shingles from the mainland to the rowboat, from the rowboat to the island, from the island to the cabin. I'll do some tweaking, fill in little things up on the gables, and then I've got to get my truck totally empty, drive 40 miles to Wawa. I got a guy there who says he's got some green shingles, otherwise it's 4.5 hours one way. And if he's got what I need, then I'm going to load that up, drive it back, and then I've got to take it from the dock to the boat, from the boat to the island, from the island to the cabin. So I'll be burning up some calories. That's another reason I found that it's handy to have these longer pieces on the top. What I'm trying to do is use some rubber sealant to seal the end of these logs. This is the last time they'll be uncovered. It's a lot easier to do it now than to do it later. I used a real fine blade, so it closes up the end of the grain better. Okay, those were easy to get. Now I've got to get the ones up there. That'll be a little trickier. Got to get that dust off. Still have a rubber paint. Will actually stick. All right. As we'll give him another shot. It is muggy today.